Welcome to WWJA Channel 1 News. I'm Carla Newsworthy with the top news of the day. Our lead story in breaking news this evening is with a man who says he is the top dog. Mr. Frank Bratwurst is the entrepreneur who owns the most profitable hot dog business in the entire country. I get the pleasure of interviewing him tonight about his company called Hot Diggity Dogs. Good evening, Mr. Bratwurst. Are you there with us? Thanks for
I'm
speaking
here.
with us this evening.
Good evening, Miss Newsworthy. I'm really excited to be the #1 hot dog company this year and to be talking with you about my business.
Well, congratulations on that honor. That is a huge accomplishment. So, Mr. Bratwurst, how long have you owned Hot Diggity Dogs?
I've owned Hot Diggity Dogs for 10 years. I started with just one hot dog cart here in Richmond, Virginia, and we now have over 200 carts across the entire United States.
Wow. So, tell me more. How did you achieve the title of the most profitable hot dog business in the entire country?
Well, Miss Newsworthy, in order to sell a lot of hot dogs, you've got to have some pretty great customers. You know, customers are the people who buy your products.
Well, that makes sense. Every business needs customers. So, how did you get so many customers?
Well, that's a funny story. We have a lot of customers today, but that wasn't always the case. In fact, we spent a lot of money and time on advertising in order to get the word out about our delicious hot dogs.
Oh, ooh, they do look delicious.
Mm-hmm.
How many do you eat per day, Frank?
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and sometimes a midnight snack.
Wow, I understand that you can advertise in a lot of ways. So, how did you advertise your business to persuade customers to buy your hot dogs?
Well, like a lot of companies, we started with some TV commercials, but those didn't do so well because a lot of people skip the commercials on TV now. So we decided to create some flyers and put them up all over town. And we even created some huge billboards on the highway so that thousands of hungry people could see our hot dogs and how delicious they were when they were driving back and forth to school or to work. When they saw how delicious those hot dogs looked, everyone wanted to try them. Before you knew it, we had so many customers, we didn't know what to do.
That's very impressive. So, I bet that really increased your revenue. The amount of money you make by selling your hot dogs?
Yes, ma'am, it did. Our revenue, or the amount of money coming into our business from sales, increased because we sold more and more hot dogs. However, our expenses increased too. The expenses are our costs, like buying the hot dogs and the buns and the plates and the napkins and the mustard and the ketchup and hiring all of our great workers and buying the hot dog carts.
Wow, that's a lot of expenses. So, how did you make sure that your expenses were less than your revenue so you could make a profit?
Well, that's a great question, Ms. Newsworthy. We had to really understand our costs or our expenses. And believe me, there were years where we didn't make a profit. Instead, we had a loss. We lost money because we paid more in expenses than we made in revenue. For example, we used to charge $2 for a hot dog. And if we sold 100 hot dogs in a day at one hot dog cart, that would be $200 in revenue. But our expenses were very high also, almost $300 a day, because we had to rent the hot dog cart and buy all of our supplies from just one supplier. So we were actually recording a loss or losing $100 every single day.
Wow, that's interesting, Frank. So, what changed? Because no one wants to record a loss.
Well, we began to look really closely at all of our expenses and found ways to lower them. For example, we found a different hot dog supplier who could sell us the hot dogs cheaper, but still have a great quality, delicious hot dog. And we found someone who could make our hot dog carts at a lower price too. After we worked out a way to lower all of our costs, our expenses went from $300 a day down to $150 a day.
That's incredible. Frank, does that mean you went from a loss to a profit?
Yes, ma'am, it does. And don't forget, Our advertising really helped us to sell more hot dogs too. So our profit was actually much better. We sold 200 hot dogs each day for $2 each at each cart. That meant our revenue was $400 a day per hot dog cart. So after subtracting our expenses of $150, the new profit for that hot dog cart was $250 every single day.
That's amazing that you went from a loss to a profit of $250 per hot dog cart each day. That's incredible. I guess that explains why you really are the top dog. Congratulations, Frank. I am so glad that you were successful in increasing your revenue and decreasing your expenses to generate a profit. What an incredible story. Frank, you really are an impressive entrepreneur, and we are so thankful that you were able to join us this evening and speak with us on WWJA News. Best of luck on your hot dog business. Now, on to more breaking news with Carla Newsworthy.